Please remember that all the opinions in the show are those of the host and should only be taken as food for thought. We're in no way telling you to do anything. Everything is kept anonymous for the safety of the listeners and no information is shared to anyone else. If you are easily offended by people's opinions or views, then thank you for making it this far, but this is not the podcast for you, so see you later. And please enjoy the rest of the show. Happy New Year, guys. I'm writing in beforehand as I'm going out of country for a couple of weeks. The add-on story from mine about Bebo and Dirty Shirley was amazing. Oh, that was a really good story. I don't know. Just a small reminder of the Deirdre days when you thought you wasn't going to surpass her. I bet you guys are quickly surpassing her now. But anyway, after the dick sucking on my question, I just found a new bloke. He's lovely. He's a lovely little gay man. Lovely little gay man. My only issue with him, he's far too nice for me sometimes. And I'm worried it will turn me off eventually as I like a guy who can equal my attitude. And if we get into trouble from others too. He's great at everything else. Loving, considerate, funny, and good in bed. But sometimes I feel like I'm walking all over him. How should I let him know this without jeopardizing the thing we've got? I don't want him to think that I'm not into him because I am. That's an interesting take. Because normally it's like, he's really nice, but he's not aggressive in bed or something like that.
Yeah, he's not. I think the only way you can resolve this is by talking to the fella and saying to him, look, you need to be a bit more forthcoming. And use your initiative. Be more assertive.
Assertive. Yeah.
And see how he reacts to that. If he's still the same, then that's a problem you have to deal with after. But it's not a negative. I think maybe it's a personal thing for our listener.
I think normally towards the beginning of a relationship, everyone is a bit more placid.
Like
they don't
definitely
want to seem crazy or pushy and things like that. They let things get away. That's why we always say, like, if you never say to like your partner or like a man, I would never stop you going out seeing your friends, because they take that as all right, and then you never fucking see him again. You know what I mean? So you got to have that like balance of no, I do want you to see me and not fuck off all the time.
Yeah.
So I don't know how long the relationship's going on for. Maybe it's just he's just trying to be overly.
Yeah, because I would have sold fucking snow to the fucking Eskimos at the beginning of any relationship. I would have been talking absolute shite and being really overly nice just to try and make sure that I look like a better person than I am. Mm-hmm. And then eventually the real person cracks through in about a couple of weeks. And that's when the ultimatum happens.
You gotta increase the banter to a point where it's consistently happening, and then he just snaps. And then he gives it back to you. Yeah, no, like always, I think we always say communication is key. This isn't a conversation that's bad. I mean, I'm very much a like a let it go sort of person. Like I'll just sit back, and if someone's like, "Oh, can you do this?" I'll be like, "All right, then." I'm not a sort of person that throws things back into people's faces unless I don't like them. So I'm so glad that Sabine hasn't had this conversation with me.
It could easily happen. Especially if you get into this guy might be perfectly unaware and that he's got comfortable in the roles that you're playing at the minute. And he might just be going along thinking this is how the relationship will be. But if you need someone that's more assertive, if you need someone that's a little bit more like matching your, I wouldn't say aggressiveness, I would say, what would be the word? Like energy.
Yeah, I suppose
matching your energy, then you need to make that apparent at the beginning. You don't want to be 3 years down the line having the same problem and resenting the guy that is just all he's being is too nice.
I I don't know much about gay relationships, right? So this could come off really horrible. But when I used to watch Come Dine With Me, couples Come Dine With Me,
Mm.
and they used to always, or obviously they always have like gay couples on there, and that you always had one man that was like um rambunctious, and he was out there, and he was like, you know, making everyone laugh and stuff like that, and then his partner would always be really mellow,
And subdued.
yeah, and subdued.
Yeah.
But it's almost like they balance each other out. Like the guy lets the other person be really loud and stuff like that, and then he's that sort of that other half of that couple.
Yeah,
That could
I
be a
do.
complete like wrong assumption of gay couples. I personally don't really know that many.
No, I don't know. I think I know one,
Yeah, yeah.
and they're both
So
quite loud guys. But I do think I think that's the same across all relationships, really. Because like my mum and my dad, my mum talks loads. My dad just sits back and lets it all happen. And like with me and Charlotte, we can be one or the other. I'll go into a quiet mode. She'll take over the room a bit, or vice versa. I
do you
do think
really do you really want two people with the same energy though?
no, because that's what I was just about to say. I think you end up arguing
Yeah,
if you're
yeah,
too similar. You're gonna argue.
yeah. Absolutely. That's what yeah. I think that's why that works, right?
Mm.
Why you've got like that two different sides. I think as well when you're a couple going out with other couples, it's good to have that balance. I think that's what people say, right? They're like, oh, you know, he's quite loud and the other one's quite quiet. That's a common thing for people to say.
Yeah, definitely.
Um,
You'd be
it
like,
is
oh,
a
I don't want to go
conversation.
out there because he's a fucking nightmare, but he's alright.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Yeah, I hope he brings his partner with him because he's a fucking nut job.
Yeah,
Because sometimes the quiet one reins them in a bit. Do you know what I
yeah.
mean? Because they get too energized with the room and the people, and then he gives them like a nudge and being like, women do it too, and men do it like they just calm down, love. I mean, reel it
Sometimes I
in.
need that, especially if I'm
Yeah,
out drinking. Dan, you know what I'm like.
yeah, I'm the same, running around like a fucking clown.
I can get very overexcited.
To me, I think like it's an easy conversation and not it to me doesn't say anything bad to someone. If you just said to someone, you don't have to be so nice all the time. You can be a bit more,
Mm.
assertive, or whatever. That's not a bad. You're not insulting anyone by that conversation. But then I think myself, like, if you think about it, do you want him to match your energy? Like, because some people might consider that as stealing your thunder when you're out.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it might
And
be
you
nice
might
that way.
be asking for something that you don't want in the end. Like when he does do it, and you decide you don't like that, then
You
there's
can't
no
go
going
back.
back.
No, and that another thing is me with my relationship with Sabina and stuff like that. I was always looking for the same thing I was used to,
Mm.
and I think myself like, but every time I broke up with that person, I was like, I don't want that again.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
I
then
mean,
you end
so
up driving back towards it.
yeah, exactly. So are you just looking for something that you're familiar with? Then maybe this might be a bit better for you having that sort of opposite to yourself.
Yeah, like in a way, he's got a type. So maybe he needs to let loose a bit and just let things go and see how it will go.
Mm. It's hard sometimes doing these things, like giving the right opinion when you don't know that like either of them or any of them.
Yeah, it would be nice to be in the room with him for like an hour and then see what my opinion would be then.
Yeah, like yeah, if we're sitting there and we're like, this guy's a bit mental and this one's quiet, but it works. Like you can tell that from but if you're like, nah, this guy is being swallowed by this other guy's energy, like you need to tell him to perk up a
Yeah,
bit. Yeah. Um I think like I said, I think the conclusion of this email is like talking to him about it isn't anything bad, so just do it. But then, think to yourself, do you really want him to? If you say that he's loving and caring and he's good in the bedroom and all that sort of stuff, then are those the sort of things that is what you're looking for?
Yeah, exactly. Like the last thing you'd want is to clash, and I think
Yeah.
you possibly could clash if you try to push him too far the way that you are.
Hmm. It's so annoying because I keep thinking of all like the TV shows that I've seen like gay couples in because that's all I've got as reference.
Yeah, I'm using a lot of reality shows myself
Yeah,
at the
I was
minute.
trying to think of something I was watching the other day, and there was a couple in it, and the guy was really like nice, and the other one was having a go at him for being too nice. But I can't remember what that was. I don't know. I think you need that. I think you need to be have that little opposite with each other. If
Mm.
he makes you happy and stuff like that, then it's his character in it. If that's the way he is, but you got to take into consideration how long you've been together as well. But good luck. Hopefully, we get another email saying that there was no problem, and after a week, he become a complete bastard.
He listened to Two Men No Hope and he fucking bucked his ideas up.
Yeah. But good luck. You've emailed in quite a lot, so we love hearing from you, and your stories are great. So hopefully, we helped you a little bit out there, gave you something to think about, and we can't wait to hear from you again.